Well, week 2 of the NFL season has come and gone, and there are some substantial takeaways here. A bit of the good, the bad, and the ugly, if you will. And the ugliest part, starting in reverse order, undoubtedly has to be the injuries, with significant injuries taking hold of several key starting quarterbacks around the league, most prominently Joe Burrow. The young transcendent Bengals superstar is looking like, unfortunately, he is going to be done for the season with, of all things, turf toe. And sidebar here, we really do need to find a name for turf toe that sounds worse than turf toe, because this is a gnarly injury. Niners stud quarterback Brock Purdy is also dealing with a multi-week absence of his own with the same turf toe designation, but that one pales in comparison to the one Burrow just got hit with. He will be out at least 3 months. That is the word coming out of Cincinnati.
No, God!
And that takes us to virtually the conclusion of the regular season for old Joey B. This, though, is sadly nothing new for him. It will be the second time in 3 seasons he has missed significant time due to injuries, and that is after he incurred a season-ending injury halfway through his rookie season. So in his now 6 seasons in the NFL, half of them have essentially ended in some kind of season-ending fashion due to injury.
That's outrageous.
So, look, Cincinnati, feel free to, build this guy an offensive line sometime. Anytime now would be perfect.
It's a complete crap.
Joining Burrow and Purdy potentially on the injury designation front for next week at quarterback is second-year God-tier signal caller Jaden Daniels, who is, quote, iffy, moving forward with some kind of knee injury. There is also Justin Fields, who is now in concussion protocol, and J.J. McCarthy, the second-year signal caller for Minnesota. And you know what? Actually, that one might be a good thing for his team, the Vikings, because he has been sheer ass early this season. They got absolutely waxed by the Falcons. That would be not a particularly good Falcons team, and they would be lacking a particularly good defense. JJ was just 11 of 21 for 158 yards and 2 interceptions in that game, while leading his team to only 6 points against the aforementioned not good Falcons defense. And in that game, his total QBR was just 37.5. And had he spiked the ball into the ground 21 times instead, his QBR would have been 39.6. And look, it is only his second game, and yes, he is coming back from a substantial knee injury which cost him his entire rookie season last year. But for Minnesota, this does look like trouble zone area for them. Remember, they let Sam Darnold go, who, albeit looked terrible down the stretch of the regular season and crapped his pants in epic fashion in the playoffs, but he was terrific in the regular season, leading them to a 14-3 record last season. Then they were flirting with Aaron Rodgers in the offseason before they decided to pass on him, allow him to go to Pittsburgh, and them to go with J.J. McCarthy, who, aside from that one fourth quarter, and hell, even more so the last half of the fourth quarter in their week 1, J.J. McCarthy has looked abysmal. He doesn't look like a starting quarterback, so potentially while he misses these next 2 to 4 weeks due to injury, he might also lose more than that. That would be his job moving forward, though Carson Wentz certainly doesn't sound like any kind of a fix to any situation for them. Who knows? Maybe Minnesota will go out and test free agency or the trade market. And segueing from bad quarterbacks to just bad in general, it has to be the 0-2 Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs, who had been in 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls and won 3 of them. The Chiefs, who win this division every single year, and I do mean every single year. They were going for their 10th consecutive AFC West title, And yeah, that ain't gonna happen. And I feel confident in saying that after just 2 games because the Chargers are surging right now. They have the 7th ranked total defense in the league and are allowing only 15 points per game currently. But that's not all. Justin Herbert finally seemingly has weaponry surrounding him and an offensive line. And yeah, he looks fantastic right now. How does 2nd in the NFL in rating and 3rd in total QBR grab you? They, the Chargers that is, are 2-0 now and essentially have a head-to-head tiebreaker on Kansas City by virtue of the win against them in Brazil, which means after just 2 weeks, the Chargers are essentially up 3 games on the Chiefs for that division. And look, I know, Mahomes was already dealing with a little short-handed situation at his receiving core as Rashee Rice was suspended for the first 6 games of this season. And then Mrs. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, nearly decapitated his wide receiver 2, Xavier Worthy, within the first drive of their first game last week against the Chargers. But Mahomes doesn't look particularly good, as he is currently ranked just 12th in PFF grades currently. Not terrible, but certainly not the 2nd best quarterback ever kind of stuff that we have come accustomed to him to this stage of his career. And if Mahomes is just another guy, the Chiefs simply have no shot. They should get in the win column this week, playing the lowly New York Giants, but then they play the Ravens the following week, who, despite their 4th quarter collapse in week 1 against Buffalo, Baltimore looks to be the best team in the conference by a significant margin. So 1-3 for Kansas City is certainly within the realm of outcomes for them after the first month of the season is in the books, and that leaves them as no guarantee to even make the playoffs, forget about winning the division. And now moving into the good, well, for me, it has to be the Green Bay Packers, and yes, I am a believer already. They are 2-0, leading the NFC in total net differential after 2 games, and after the first 2 weeks, they are sitting as the 3rd-rated total defense and 4th in total points allowed. And their first 2 opponents were Washington and Detroit. Washington, who dropped well over 400 yards in their first week while not playing Green Bay, and Detroit, well, who just scored another touchdown right now against the Bears. They put up 52 yesterday, and well, they didn't even look like a real NFL team in week 1 when they played these Packers. Again, the Pack are the 3rd-rated total defense, and that was despite giving up about 100 yards per game and 3 total scores in pure garbage time during the 4th quarters. This defense is outright terrifying. Oh, and Jordan Love is balling. He is sporting a 120 total QB rating to this point, which is good for 4th league-wide. And speaking of Love, he is currently in his aged 27th season. And dating back to the 1960s, Bart Starr, Brett Favre, and Aaron Rodgers all won Super Bowls with the Green Bay Packers in their aged 27 seasons. And look, while that is the good, the bad, and the ugly for this week, I would be remiss to not at least mention another good, and that would be the best team in the league, yes, in the league, after 2 weeks. At least that is based on total net differential. The Indianapolis Colts, of course, because, well, who didn't have that one coming into this season? They beat the Broncos yesterday 29-28 to remain undefeated on the season. Oh, and speaking of the Broncos, just about as bad of a loss as you could possibly imagine, as the Colts missed the potential game-winning field goal from 60 yards out at the gun, but due to a leveraging penalty against the Broncos, they got a 15-yard penalty and to retry the kick from 45 yards out, and they iced it. The Colts, again, winning it 29-28. But more on the Colts offense. They are firing on all cylinders currently behind Indiana Jones. That's right, the flaming pile of ass, formerly known as Daniel Jones, who was jettisoned from the New York Giants in utter disgrace, looks like one of the best quarterbacks in the entire league through 2 games. He is second league-wide currently in passing yards, and the Colts are the second-ranked total offense currently, putting up 445 yards per game through 2 and trailing only the Bills by 5 yards per game for the top spot. No other team, meanwhile, in the league is averaging over 400 yards currently. And don't look now, but the Colts' next 4 opponents are the Titans, Rams, Raiders, and Cardinals. We could be looking at 5-1 or possibly even 6-0 for Indiana Jones and his Colts. And they are in an absolutely abysmal division. The Colts guys are for real. And many thanks to you for joining me on this Week 2 NFL recap. Please do make sure you are subscribed with notifications turned on to stay up to date with more from me. Until next time, guys.